Now the topic before us is how man in the middle attacks steal your website logins. In this picture you can see that communication is taking place between user and website, and here you can see that the hacker has inserted or placed itself in between the communication which is taking place between the user and the application. And the goal of this MITM attack is to steal or manipulate the data which is being exchanged between two parties. Here in this picture you can see that two parties are involved, that is user and web application, and man in the middle or the hacker has placed itself in between the communication between the two parties, and his goal is to steal or manipulate the communication which is taking place between the two parties, so that he can manipulate or steal the data in respect of login credentials. If a person is trying to open the website, his login credentials will be stand leaked. If a person is entering his financial information on the website, it will also stand leaked. Then it may be possible that some private messages are being exchanged. Then it may be possible that the hacker may either steal these private messages or make some alteration to these messages, or the hacker may change the login credentials, it may change the passwords in between, or it may get access to certain sensitive documents, because the user is passing on certain sensitive documents to the other person, and the hacker in between is now having the access to those sensitive documents which were being communicated by one person to other person. So information which has been obtained due to these MITM attacks can be used for many purposes, such as identity theft or unapproved fund transfer. It may be possible that when the communication is taking place between the two parties, that the user is to send certain money in this bank account, the man in the middle or the hacker may implant or plant his own bank account details so that the funds are transferred to his account. This MITM attack can happen in many ways, such as hijacking unencrypted public Wi-Fi. It may happen that the person is using public Wi-Fi which is unencrypted. The hackers may hijack that Wi-Fi system, and any communication which is taking place between the user and the website will be leaked to the hacker. It may be also possible that the hacker may use DNS spoofing for the purpose of MITM attack. What is DNS spoofing? In this picture you can see that client is trying to open a website. What happens? The hacker has injected fake DNS entry. What it means? That you may be using the correct IP address or the correct name of the website you will be entering, but due to the manipulation done by the hacker, your request will not go to the real website. You are trying to open your bank account or banking site. You are having account in say ABC Bank. You are trying to open the website of ABC Bank, and when you make request to the DNS server for accessing the real website, the hacker has already injected fake DNS entry. That is, the DNS server is controlled by the hacker, and though you are using the correct IP address, you are mentioning the correct name of the bank, all your request will take to take you to the fake website, and the purpose of this DNS spoofing is to steal your login credentials. When you are trying to access your bank and you land in the fake website, you will not get to know that this is the fake website, and when you will enter your login credentials, username, password, this information will stand leaked, or your this information will be in the hands of the hacker. By understanding the common methods which are being used by the hackers in MITM attacks, you can take protective steps to protect your website. So, to protect our website, we must avoid using public Wi-Fi for sensitive transactions. We must not use. If we are to exchange any sensitive information, we should never use public Wi-Fi. If we are visiting any website, we should see that it is having HTTPS and a padlock sign. We should not visit any website, or our website should not start with HTTP, because HTTP sites are not safe. We should be wary of phishing emails. That is, if some email come into our account and the same email relies on the concept of urgency, fear, then we should look at those emails with suspicion. Why this urgency is there mentioned in the email? Why this email is raising fear in our mind? So we should be cautious of phishing emails, and we should use antivirus or anti-malware software which is purchased from some reputed software developers, so that it can protect us against malware that facilitate MITM attacks. If we are having proper anti-malware software in our system, then there are chances that will not be affected by the MITM attack. So by understanding the MITM attacks and the methods which are being used by the hackers, we can suitably take protective steps to protect our website from the website attacks. Thanks for. Now the topic before us is deception tactics. How pretexting hacks websites. Pretexting is a specific social engineering technique where attacker creates a fabricated scenario or story, which is also known as pretext, to gain victims' trust. In this picture, you can see that a person who is in fact a hacker impersonates that he is from some trusted authority, and he creates a fabricated scenario and reach out to its victim. The victim believes the scenario and shares the information the trusted authority requests. That is, the victim trusts the person who is on telephone call, and as required by the other person or the fraudster or the hacker, the victim tells all the information as asked for by the fraudster, because the victim believes that the person on the other side is from some trusted company. The fraudster gains valuable information from their victim and often uses it maliciously. The attacker uses pretext to manipulate the victim's emotions. The fabricated scenario creates a sense of urgency, and the victim has less time or no time to scrutinize the attacker's request. We will understand the same with the help of an example. Suppose I receive a telephonic call from someone and the other person says that I am from your software company or the company which provides you the facility of software. All the software is handled by their company, which is being used by your website, and there is an urgent need for some system update. You believe that the other person might be from the software company and you are using the software of that company. You believe that the other person is saying to you that he is the employee of software company. You also think it proper that there might be some software updation requirement and the same is urgently required. You believe as told by the other person. The other person may say that you may hit, you may click on the link sent to you, or you may give remote access to the computer system so that they can update your computer system or they can update your website. If you agree, then clicking on the link or giving them the remote access may ultimately plant the malicious software on your website, and the access of your website may go into the hands of the hackers. It may be also possible that you receive a telephonic call from a person and the other person says that he is from the law enforcement agency, he is a police inspector who is verifying the case of some stolen credit cards. He is investigating a case of some stolen credit cards, and that credit cards have been used on your website. In the name of urgency of investigating the case, the other person who is on the telephonic call from the other side may ask you that you should give remote access of your website, or you may be asked to click on a link which has been sent by the other person or the law enforcement person, allegedly law enforcement officer. If you click on that link, it may be quite possible that that link may download, may take you to some malicious website, or clicking on the link may download some sort of malicious software on your website. In any case, your website gets infected or the control of your website may go into the hands of the hackers, and ultimately you will as a website owner will suffer, because all the information which is lying stored in your computers stands leaked or stolen by the hackers, or you may suffer financially, because when the user details is leaked in the dark web, or when the news of a website attack goes in the market, the reputation of your brand image or the name of your company is damaged, and your company also suffers a lot. So we should not fall prey in the name of urgency. We should use our mind critically. Whenever there is a phone call which calls for urgency, or when they create any sort of fear, or if the other person talks about any fines or penalties if you do not comply with the formalities, then you must think critically before taking any action, before hitting any link, before downloading any software on your computer. You must stay calm and think critically before taking any action. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.